contributor Paul Henderson. Paul, thank you for joining us again. We have 4 Black legal experts now in key positions. Will that mean consensus, or will it be crabs in a barrel?
I think it's going to be more consensus than crabs in a barrel for sure, because of the lack of diversity, both within the legal profession, but also within this rarefied profession of prosecution, where we don't have enough voices of representation. We don't have enough decision making and representation from Black and brown communities. And so while it looks like this is significant, and it is, and I don't want to take away from those folks being appointed to where they are, there's still so much more work to do so that we have more folks of color in that pipeline making these important decisions that are being made right now. I think it's really relevant when you're looking at those positions and the folks that you just mentioned. The significance of it is that that is the seat of power that is deciding issues that touch all of the nation right now. Those are the folks that are making decisions about Cuomo. Those are the people that will be making decisions about Trump and the legacy, undoing it and correcting it, righting the ship of what's happened in the past. So it's really an exciting time. I was super excited to hear about that nomination. And these are folks that we all need to be watching over the next few years about what's going to happen here in this country.
Well, since you mention the undoing and the decision-making power that these people have, let's go in a layer deeper on one person. Alvin, for example, he is now going to be the new district attorney for New York. We know that district attorney in other big cities have decided to do things like not prosecute low-level crimes, particularly marijuana offenses. Is that something that we could see come out of his office?
It is, and that's why it's so important that we have elected officials in those positions that are reflective of the communities that they are designed to serve. And when we have race disparities like we do in our criminal justice system, the fastest way forward is to have those folks from those communities in decision-making seats, in decision-making positions. I've been a prosecutor a long time, and actually I was chief here in San Francisco under then District Attorney Kamala Harris, who was my boss, and I was her chief for a number of years. And at the time, she was one of less than a handful of elected prosecutors that were in that office. But one of the first things that can be done when you're in that position is to look at the entirety of the system and try and right the wrongs of race disparate outcomes. And those issues are concentrated with issues like low-level marijuana crimes, with pretextual stops, with quality of life type of instances. And that's why it's really
Paul, I want to jump in there when you mentioned pretextual stops, because that, stop and frisk in New York was a big deal for a long time. Eric Adams, who's now going to be the mayor of New York, because he got the nomination and there's no Republican opposition to speak of, but he, as a Black man, is closer to the law and order side of things rather than the defund the police side of the spectrum. So what does that mean for the NYPD?
It means that they are now going to have a person in leadership that is intimately aware of how the system operates and where the disparities are. But you know that almost viscerally. I mean, I can say even for myself of having been detained or arrested 8 times. And yes, I was the chief prosecutor in my city, that my experiences as I go through life and navigate life are different from other people. And so with folks like that are in positions of leadership that don't have to contemplate, should we do something like stop and frisk again? No. And here's why. So it closes the door when we have diversity. And that's why it's so important. And so having him in the leadership decision over the police department, when we have a person like him in a position to make decisions over our Justice Department about who gets charged, how they get charged, to address things like 3 strikes, to address things like low-level crimes that are disparately affected our communities, Black and brown communities, It's of absolute importance. That's why it's so important that we have diversity at the table, especially in these professions and especially in these elected positions where they can make decisions based on not just their own experiences, but what's best for all of society, with a focus on societies and voices that haven't been heard, haven't been listened to, and haven't been at the table in the past. It's a big deal, and I'm super excited about this movement. I hope it expands.
And one of the people on that list that we talked about is already in the job and has already done big things in the job, and that's Attorney General Letitia James. She showed the entire country how to conduct a culture-changing investigation. So the question then is, knowing that what she can do is just that one person in that job, and what is possible in these other positions just by a personnel change, is this the path forward for communities across the country in the absence of broad federal reform?
Absolutely. It absolutely is. And in fact, I would say because of the slow-moving pace of national reform, and I just want to talk about it briefly for a moment, separate from just how slowly national reform is taking to emerge in this country, and specifically we're talking about like the George Floyd bill, there has been a vacuum in that area and things have not happened. The last administration from 45 dismantled the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice and cut it to less than half of what it was from the previous administration. That created a vacuum at the state level and at the local level. And I appreciate that folks and individuals and communities are taking action. And they're taking action by making demands of their chiefs of police, by taking action with their mayors, by taking actions with their governors. And that field is ripe for people to move forward and to address many of the problems that they are echoing from Black and brown communities. This is the time to be raising those issues, and having a voice at those tables is making a difference. We can't afford as a community to wait until the president saves us. We want him at the table and playing his role, but we also have to keep that same pressure up for our state elected officials and our local elected officials. And in this moment and in this day, we know more now about our justice system. We know now more about our policing system because of the transgressions that have happened in the past, to know to demand better. And that's where the real opportunity is. These prosecutors that are coming in place are at the table to determine who gets charged, how they get charged, and this is really important, their relationship with the police affirms their behavior or denies their behavior in terms of what shapes the pipeline of what goes into the criminal justice system. That's why these positions are so important, and it's just as important that we have Black and brown faces at that table of leadership.
Well, Paul, as you said, in the absence of big national things, then the local bottom-up strategy, which is a people-first strategy, is so critical. BNC legal contributor, veteran prosecutor Paul Henderson, thank you for joining us.